The Samsung r451c came out in mid-October for Net10 and Straight Talk. I've been using it with Straight Talk service for about a month now, and I'm here to give a quick video review of the phone. If you want to get more details on my full review, you can check that out at r451c.com. This phone was released around the same time as the Samsung T401G, which is a Net10 phone, and the phones are pretty similar. Both have a QWERTY keyboard, a 1.3 megapixel camera, and an MP3 player. One thing that this R451C does not have, though, is a camcorder. So if you're looking for that, the T401G is still your only option. I'm going to get behind the camera now and give you a closer look at some of the features of this phone. Okay, here is the sliding keyboard, which is a big selling point for many people. As you can see, the screen automatically rotates when you open the slider. This keyboard has 4 rows of keys, which are kind of a soft, rubbery material. I haven't used this phone quite as much as I use the T401G, but on either phone I do like the addition of the QWERTY keyboard. Especially if you do a lot of texting, this is going to save you some time. And like I mentioned in my T401G review, though, this keyboard, if you use the QWERTY keyboard, it's kind of tough to do with one hand, so you'll have to probably use 2 hands to use the QWERTY keyboard. However, you can use the numeric keypad with T9 texting if you want to do one-handed texting. Now here's a look around at the buttons on the phone. On the left side we have the rocker switch, which controls the call volume. On some phones, when you're not in a call, this button is going to change the ringtone settings, but there's a separate button to change the ringers on this phone. Over on the right side is kind of a dual purpose key. When the phone is locked, it doesn't do anything. When the phone is unlocked, it's going to load, for a single click, it's going to load the camera. Or if you press and hold the key, it loads the MP3 player. Farther up the right side is the charging port. This connector is also used for a USB cable if you have one. And then around on the top of the phone is the headset jack. Now one thing about this is it's an MP3 player phone, but the jack is the universal type of connector that's also used in most phones. It's a 2.5 millimeter jack, whereas on most headphones, most music headphones, you're going to get a 3.5 millimeter jack. So if you are purchasing accessories for this phone, you need to be careful to make sure you get the 2.5 millimeter headset jack. I've also been able to use a 2.5 to 3.5 adapter so that I could use this headset jack with my regular standard 3.5 millimeter headphones and put the adapter in the middle so that I could listen to stereo music through the headphones. And then here's a quick look at the back of the phone. The back, like most of the phone, is kind of a glossy black material. It does pick up fingerprints fairly easily, which is a minor disadvantage for some people. And then one other thing that I wanted to show you here is that the micro SD card is kind of tucked away in here. So you have to remove the battery cover, and then it pops out right in the side here. And on this card you can store your music, some extra pictures, and you can also use it to transfer files between phones that accept this card or also to your computer. Next, let's take a look at the MP3 player. It's nearly identical to the player on the T401G, and both players I thought were nicer than the Motorola EM326. The sound is okay through the built-in speaker, which is what I'll try to show you here. As you can see, you can choose from all songs, your sorted by artist, sorted by album, genres, or playlists. I'll just give a short sample here. The sound is okay through this speaker, I thought. Um, if you're listening for any extended period of time, though, you'll definitely want to pick up a pair of headphones. As I said before, you might need an adapter to do that. Another option might also be stereo Bluetooth, which I have not tried, but as far as I can tell, it should work with this phone. So if you have a set of those, or you want to get a set of wireless Bluetooth stereo headphones, that should work. I know that the MP3 player is kind of a big attraction for many people looking to upgrade their phone, so I wanted to say a little bit more about it. I thought the audio quality was pretty good, but this phone probably isn't going to replace a standalone standard MP3 player or iPod. I thought the playlists were kind of hard to use, and I couldn't get my songs to play in an order that I specified. They always play alphabetically, even when you're playing an entire album. The album is sorted alphabetically by the first letter of the song name, not by the album order, so that's pretty annoying. So there are some drawbacks to this feature. And finally, a little bit more about the camera. It's a pretty standard camera. There are a few editing features you can do on the phone, but there's no digital zoom, so you might have to do that with some editing software after you take the picture. The camera resolution is 1.3 megapixels, which is probably good enough to do small prints, like maybe 3x5 or 4x6, but certainly no bigger than that, or the pictures will start to get pretty grainy. So I guess it's a pretty basic camera for a modern cell phone. Nothing special, but it works, and it's a higher resolution than a lot of previous Net10 phones. Well, to sum it up, I think it's a pretty solid little phone. In my testing, the battery life and the reception were both very good. Call quality was pretty good, maybe not quite as sharp sounding as the EM326G or the LG290C. I do like the QWERTY keyboard. It makes for really easy and fast texting. And I guess in summary, I'd probably give it maybe 3.5 stars out of 5. It's currently available for Net10 for $80 or $100 as a straight talk phone. There are a couple of discounts that are available right now, so check those out at r451c.com. On that page, you're also going to find links to my detailed review where I was able to include a lot more detail than I could fit into this video. So if you're researching this phone and are considering purchasing it, you'll definitely want to check out my full review and get all the information. Thanks.